Hello Minders, welcome back to the Mind of Watercolor. Let's dive right in, okay? So the Albrecht Dürer review I just did raised several comments that, Steve, please do a whole painting with these. And I think you know I commented in the video that I don't often do full paintings with watercolor pencil, but you know, I thought this would be a great challenge and it would be a great way to learn to use these better. So that's what I'm going to do. I decided to do a floral. So I'm looking over my colors here on my swatch chart, and really when you use watercolor pencil you need one of these. They're even more important than with a regular palette because you need to know activated what your colors are. So I will list all the pencil colors that I used. I don't think I ended up with more than maybe 8 or 9, and this is my reference. We have the last of our spring azaleas just finished blooming, and I got a few photos. And you can see how flat the contrast is in this flower, so I'm going to be punching up that contrast quite a bit. And I'll be using bits and pieces of these leaves here, but I'll be pretty much inventing my own composition and placement, size and shape of the leaves, just using that as a jumping off point. After hearing several of you suggest that I do a full painting with these pencils, I really thought that would be a great challenge and a great learning experience. So many times when I've tried something new and I've gotten to know it better by just diving in and doing something to the full extent of the medium. But I could see very well by doing this where this medium fits in. And I'm just directly drawing right on my watercolor paper. And by the way, I'm using Canson Heritage Hot Press. This has turned out to be just such a great paper, and I really love the hot press. It performed beautifully in this case. I really had no complaints at all. And if you watch me very much, you know my philosophy on good watercolor paper, and it's that as long as it doesn't get in the way, as long as it facilitates everything I want to do, I consider it a good paper. Canson Heritage Hot Press, just a lovely, lovely paper, and it did really, really well. I will list in order of usage. I will list the colors of the pencils, the exact color of the pencils and the numbers down below. But as I said, I'm just directly drawing right on the paper. And from this point on, this is going to be sort of a relaxation video. So just sit back, enjoy the music, and what you're going to see is a progression of lighter tones to deeper tones. It's really no more complicated than that. And lots of layering. Drawing in the watercolor pencil, shading, then activating and blending. That's essentially watercolor pencil. And all the colors and depth of value are achieved through layering. And overall, I just found these Albrecht Dürer watercolor pencils a joy to use. As long as I kept within the characteristics of the medium, knowing how the medium works, how to use it, they just did what I wanted them to do, and the color was so predictable. Any watercolor pencil will become more intense and darker when you activate it or wet it. But I just love how much these looked like what I expected them to look like when I wet them, and I think that's one of the reasons I like them so much. And on top of the fact that they're light fast, and they have such a great pigment payout when you activate them. And I decided to do everything with watercolor pencil, including the background. And when you come to that, you'll see what I mean. I was real tempted. As I've said, old habits die hard. I was real tempted to pull out my regular palette so I could just splash in those backgrounds much easier, much flowier. But I thought, hey, just push it. Push it to the max. Use this medium to its fullest extent and see what it'll do. It's not going to replace watercolor for me, but I did learn a lot about how to use it. So, as I said, sit back, relax. Hope you enjoy this. We'll talk to you at the end. Well, I think we'll call that quits. Pretty happy with it so far. Thank you everyone for watching. I hope that's inspiring. I hope that's helpful. Those of you who like watercolor pencil, I hope that gives you some ideas. Thank you so much, patrons. This content would not be here without you, and I mean that sincerely. And as a special treat for you guys, there will be a full commentary on this one in a couple days, so look for that. And we'll see everybody in the next video. Thanks. Bye-bye.